I'm Moriel, and I'm taking you to the capital of Israel, Jerusalem.
Jerusalem, in Hebrew Yerushalayim, is a city of ancient biblical history and a modern yet humble metropolitan that is no stranger to political controversy and tension. It is located in the center of Israel, not too far away from the Dead Sea, the Mediterranean Sea on the coast, and the country of Jordan. You might be familiar with the biblical stories of Jerusalem, with its gruesome wars and triumphant victories. But today, Jerusalem is the biggest city in Israel, with over 900,000 citizens, 45% of which are Orthodox Jews.
One of the first things you'll notice about Jerusalem is that it is a melting pot of all cultures. It's also home to all three major religions, Judaism, of course, Islam, and Christianity.
Let's begin our journey with the Western Wall as we walk the Old City with 2 stops along the way. The Old City is one of the most unique places you will ever visit. Spanning over 0.9 square kilometers and surrounded by a wall, it is divided into 4 uneven quarters. The Jewish quarter, the Muslim quarter, the Christian quarter, and the Armenian quarter. Its narrow alleyways, buildings, and houses are paved with Jerusalem stones and mazes of bustling and colorful markets. If you want to see cultures clash, mesh, and mix together, the Old City is where you'll find it all.
Now let me walk you through the Old City's Jewish quarter.
The Jewish quarter is home to over 2,000 people, mainly religious and Orthodox Jews, living out their God-focused lives amongst the tens of synagogues and yeshivas. You can visit the many museums, sit at a cafe or restaurant, and enjoy the ambiance. Don't forget to visit the Cardo, an ancient and impressive colonnaded-style street dating back to the Roman and Byzantine empires. In Roman times, the Cardo ran south from Damascus Gate, cutting the Old City in half, and it was lined with shops and vendors, serving as the social, cultural, and economic hub of its time. From the Jewish quarter, you can walk to the Western Wall. The bottom stones of the Western Wall are the original remains of the outer wall of the Temple of Solomon, where the Israelites would serve God by offering prayers and sacrifices. It is considered Judaism's holiest site. The wall is divided into a men's and women's section, and people write their prayers on a piece of paper and stick it between the crevices of the wall, believing it to be the closest place to God's presence where prayers are answered.
Living in Jerusalem, I come here at least once a year, if not more, and every single time I'm here, I feel like my prayers are changed. Why? Because I'm a changed person. My prayers used to sound like, God, can you give me this? Can you do this and that for me? And now my prayers are more outward focused. The Western Wall isn't just where God's presence used to be or the closest thing to what we have of the temple today. It's a place where people come to connect to God together with thousands and even millions of people that come here every year. A place where God still dwells because God dwells in the hearts of the people. And my prayer, as always, is that God would save the Jewish people so that not only would they think that God's presence is here, but God's presence is in their heart.
All this walking around has made me hungry. Let's head to
City Center, Jerusalem. I love Ben Yehuda Street. In fact, I used to live right up the street. Ben Yehuda Street is special because it's a promenade. You have shops, you have restaurants, you can sit around and just people watch. And more than anything, just the fact that you can walk around the city is a big, big plus.
But if your tired feet need a break, you can always catch the light rail or a bus from pretty much anywhere. Still, you haven't seen the best of this city until you visited the Machane Yehuda market, commonly known as the Shuk, meaning market. The name Machane Yehuda means the camp of Judah, which comes from Numbers 10:14, when the camp of the tribe of Judah led the tribes of Israel from Sinai to the Promised Land. The Shuk dates back to the Ottoman period at the end of the 19th century, as local peasants and Arabs sold fresh produce in little stalls. Today, you can choose between 250 vendors from the open-air shuk, the closed shuk, and the Iraqi shuk. The market sizzles with life as vendors yell lucrative offers of produce, meat and fish, candies and sweets, aromatic spices, hot out of the oven bread, wines and liquor. You get the point. They have everything. Okay, My stomach is growling, and you know what that means.
Guys, it is lunchtime and I am hungry, and there's nothing like tucking into true Israeli food. This is a pastry stuffed with meat and fused with international tastes from all over the world. I got the brisket. When you guys come here, you guys should eat from all the different tastes because you will not miss out, believe me.
Ishtabach in the Shuk serves pastries stuffed with slow-cooked meat, a traditional Syrian and Kurdish dish with an Israeli twist. They take a flattened round piece of dough and add Indian mashed potatoes, caramelized onions, and chimichurri as a base before filling it with meat that's been slow-cooked for 10 to 16 hours. They then pop it in a stone tabbouleh with a rotating platter till it's hot and crispy. Meant to eat with your hands, I smothered it with tahini and enjoyed the genius flavor combos and side salads. For a meal and a drink, I paid 70 shekels, which is about $18. My sweet tooth is calling, and it's time for dessert. Lucky for me, dessert options in the shuk are endless, and Kaboom is just a few steps away. Kaboom sells boutique crembos, a classic Israeli dessert. It's a biscuit topped with marshmallow cream-like foam and covered in chocolate. But Kaboom has a modern twist on this nostalgic dessert. The classic crembos are sold exclusively during the cold seasons, but here you can find them all year round. I chose the strawberry and topped it with melted milk chocolate and nuts. And now I get why they call themselves Kaboom, because this was bomb. With a full stomach and renewed energy, let's leave the bustle of the city for a quiet, not-so-far-off retreat.
Our next destination is the very peaceful Garden of Gethsemane.
The Garden of Gethsemane is a garden with olive trees dating anywhere between 800 to 2,000 years old, depending on which expert you ask. It's believed that this garden was where Yeshua prayed for strength the night before his crucifixion, was betrayed by Judas Iscariot, and was arrested by Roman soldiers. Walking around the garden, you will feel inspired to commune with God in prayer and seek to understand his suffering and travail.
There's a real tranquility in being on this mountain in places like this on the Mount of Olives. It's such a great reminder after coming from city center to a quiet place that it's important to take the time to be in quiet before God, and there's no better place to do that than on the Mount of Olives.
From there, we walked to the Mount of Olives outlook, and the view, a panoramic wonder of the old city and the modern city of Jerusalem. Not bad at all, if you ask me.
I'm on the Mount of Olives, where Yeshua would spend a lot of his time, either in prayer, in communion with the Father, with the disciples, and even teaching. And it's so amazing to be in a place where he's going to return with his very feet on this mountain to rule and reign over all of Israel and the whole world. How unique that is that he chose such a humble mountain to come back to.
The slope of the mountain is covered in tombstones, a Jewish cemetery with some 70,000 tombs. According to Zechariah 14:4 and Jewish tradition, the Messiah will return to this very mountain, and those buried here will be the first to be resurrected. The name Yerushalayim in Hebrew means, see, it is whole, or it is complete. Although the city has proven itself resilient, strong, and still standing, she has a long way to go until she is whole. And I guess that is what makes Jerusalem so magnificent and mysterious. She is just like all of us, still growing. Jerusalem is my favorite city. It's tense and loud, with pockets of mundane quietness, warm people, and a dash of drama. You can walk in the footsteps of Jesus, enjoy spectacular food and interesting sights, and still have plenty to discover. Of all the cities in Israel, Jerusalem is the one I'm always happy to come back to. And after you come to visit, you will too.
This has been a day in Jerusalem, and I'll see you guys next time.